Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you that feels like we could have some sort of criminal situation going on because with the Five of Swords and the Four of Swords, it feels to me like somebody has been captured or caught, or they're having to answer for some actions. And I'm very focused on what I believe are the crows in the background of the swords. It's like there's hidden communication here. Somebody is saying, okay, you got me. I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids. But I'm really focused on how in this Four of Swords we have armor, or perhaps even just another person in the background behind the person who's laying down. So it's like coming through as one person is taking the fall. One person is saying, I did it. It was me. You're right. You got me. But they're hiding somebody else that they were working with. Now, could this be like a major situation? Sure. But it could also be that there's somebody who's trying to like be an alibi or cover up for somebody who's like sneaking out and doesn't want their partner to know. There's two people here involved in the situation, and for whatever reason they've been able to convince whoever is judge and jury that there was just one person doing this. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of Winchanta, and I hope you're having a good day. Hello, daughter of Saturn. Hello, Stephen. Hello, key controller. Hello, Nathaniel. What's up there, Nye? Hello, James. Hello, Danny. Hello, Carrie. So if you would like a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box below. And also a huge thank you to those of you that have joined the memberships already. You can find out more details about the 3 different tiers that I have below where my email address is. And I think we're going to start with what's the news. I do feel like there's some element of relationships that are romantic or physical. So that might come out at some point as well. Likewise. All right, what else do we have? A person who wanted to like interrupt another person's peace or happiness. You've got extra, somebody who's overly dramatic or trying too hard, a drama starter. Oh, looks like everything's real nice over here. Looks like you're having a good time. Would be a shame if somebody ruined it. This is somebody who's like, okay, let's figure out what we can do because I know you're acting shady. So this feels to me like someone who knows that there was another person working on this or doing this illegal thing. There's a person who knows about it. I know you also did that, or I know you were involved. Man, it would be just such a shame if everybody found out, wouldn't it? Could be a little bit of a blackmail situation. Sneaky link. So I probably didn't say that very loud. Sneaky link, which says hidden lover, low-key situationship, side piece, and then karmics, third parties, haters, lesson learned. I think we have somebody that is perhaps caught up in a scandal or being exposed for this thing and this blackmail potentially. Now, let's be real clear here because I realize that could be misconstrued. I'm talking about the action of blackmail. This is somebody who is like, I know something about you and I know you don't want anybody to know. So I'm going to find a way to like extort things from you like money, or I'm going to find a way to like capitalize off of this and like, monetize a channel over it. There's something here about I know this and nobody else does, but I can change that. Let's get a little bit more from the Rider-Waite or the Waite-Smith. What else do we have? Six of Swords. Four of Wands in the reverse, Page of Cups. This is somebody who thought that they were going to be just fine, that they would get away with whatever this is. But now this Page of Cups, this is an offer, and it's not a very good offer. It's like when someone smiles at you when they're telling you something awful. Yeah. So here I am. Somebody else has gotten in trouble for whatever I may have also done, or, I was on the burglary run too. And, I didn't get caught. Everything was fine. But just when I'm starting to feel like everything is going to be fine, just when I feel like I can get back into my old routine, there's somebody who shows up, and whatever they're doing, the offer is not a good offer. It's like, hey, let's make you regret not getting caught. High Priestess, I know your secrets. Seven of Cups in the reverse, Eight of Cups in the reverse. So what you thought was, gone, don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm going to bring it back around. I'm going to tell everybody. Queen of Swords in the reverse. I mean, this is probably very obvious, but we have somebody who was lying. And what were they lying about? The sneaky link. There's a connection here, a physical connection, possibly outside the confines of a relationship, because we also have the Two of Cups. This feels to me like a friendship circle, people who know each other. At the very least, we have acquaintances here, but there's this, how do I say this? Like souring of the connections in that circle because of one person, now two, how they acted. And somebody realized you were in on it. You did the same thing, or you were there. Six of Wands, the Sun in the reverse, and the Six of Cups in the reverse. Pride goeth before the fall. I think there could be, for many of you, the situation is about somebody who was kind of like, yeah, I got away with it too. I love that, Scooby-Doo reference. Whenever I can use it, I'll throw it in there. But this really might be somebody who is confident that they're getting away with something. Nothing's going to touch them. And then all of a sudden there's something that comes back, or even a person that they didn't really take very seriously who says, oh, no, I know what you did last summer. And I'm going to tell everybody. Seven of Cups in the reverse, Sun in the reverse. I know what you're hiding. I know what the illusion is. I have had a light bulb moment, and I'm going to tell everyone. Hi, Selena. How are you doing? Hello, Collective Soul. How are you doing? Let's get a different tarot deck, shall we? This is the Tarot of the Nile. Four of Pentacles in the reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. This is betrayal within a friend group. But I'm going to let everybody else think that this person was guilty or that they were the only one that did something. But the reality is I was involved. Another Five of Swords, this time in the reverse. Judgment in the reverse. So for some of you, this is saying that there was one person who has gotten in trouble for something. Let's just for simplicity's sake say that it's a burglary, okay? I got caught, the cops chased me down, I get charged with it, but the other person who was there with me was able to get away and, scot-free, right? But there's also, for some of you, a darker reading of it. I'm trying to find the right way to say this. There may be a situation where somebody was held accountable for their own passing, when in reality there was another person there. And they're finding out maybe we were a little bit too comfortable or a little bit too quick to conclude that you were your own worst enemy. You had these, demons you were fighting, and we didn't really dig as much as we should have in terms of whether or not there were maybe some problems around you. So I hope I said that well enough or respectfully enough. My condolences if there is somebody who has passed in this story. This is somebody's guilt finally being outed or discovered, and it happens when they least expect it. Five of Wands, Devil in the reverse. I feel like there's something else that's being addressed and this gets discovered. It's like when you're doing home remodeling and you discover something from 100 years ago, like in the chimney or whatever. There's something else going on that unearths or brings to light this truth about somebody else being there. And there's something to do with a low-key situationship or a side piece relationship. Hello, Jim. How are you doing? Yeah, I have my suspicions on this, but we'll see. Yes. I like that too, especially since I'm hungry. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse and another Three of Cups in the reverse. I say it like that because literally 2 cards up, I have another Three of Cups in the reverse. I like those kinds of low probability events happening. This tells me this is a falling out between friends. I thought I could trust you, and I can't trust you. Someone gives in to temptation, feels like because they have a good reputation or people trust them or believe them, that they can cover up whatever this is. Why do I feel like somebody's gatekeeping? No, you don't need to, nothing to see here. You know what I mean? You don't need to look into that. These are not the drones you're looking for. Ace of Wands and the Moon. This is a secret that has been kept secret for a while. I would say at least 5 years. Because I'm really drawn to the fact that we have the Hierophant, which is number 5, and the Five of Wands. I feel like we've got somebody here who has kind of lucked out in terms of circumstances or manipulated the situation, right? And now, because there's another reason to look into things, we have the secret becoming much less secret. All of a sudden now this information is coming out. All right, let's see. This is the Earth and Bone Oracle. Crossed, number 13, choices, stuck, search for purpose, daydreaming, and indecision. I think we had somebody who is either blackmailed or we have somebody who is feeling like they don't have the option to lie anymore. Now they're faced with, I think it's evidence. Roots, number 10, endowment, ancestry, memory, legacy, tradition. Yeah, I think that there was somebody who, this could be another one of the cold case type readings that I've been getting. Never really used to get them, but I welcome that, I don't know, theme. This is saying there's something that was either intentionally ignored, people didn't want to dig, didn't want to, or were told not to look into it. And now that information is being discovered. Now that reality or the details of what really happened, they're coming to light. This is the Kipper. There's somebody here who ended up with money in an odd way. So this kind of supports the idea of there being some sort of blackmail or like, hey, can you keep this quiet? Or hey, can you like not investigate this? So I do feel like at some point we have the discovery of a payoff. Journey in the reverse and thief. Yeah. You've been able to get away with this for a long time. You've been able to tiptoe around it. Nobody's really like found out the details or the secrets that you've been able to keep. But now we know. So I feel like with Journey in the reverse, we have somebody who is put on house arrest or maybe there's like bail involved, but all of a sudden we have concern over how this person got money or how this situation played out because something is not right. And I think we have somebody who can't explain where a large sum of money came from. They were paid to do something they shouldn't have. And I do feel like this has to do with a sneaky link or a third party to a marriage. We've got marriage in the reverse. So I don't want people to figure out that I was doing this or that this was my extracurricular. I don't want this to come back on me. I don't want this to impact my reputation. So I think we have somebody that was paid off for that. For entertainment purposes only. Seems like a good thing to say right about now. This is the Energy Oracle. What else do we have? The Thinking Woman, number 47. Blossoming Abundance. This is somebody who is about to strike it rich, somebody who had a lot of intelligence, a lot of, I want to say like bold energy. I do think that this is somebody who was well connected, but may not have felt like there were a lot of people they could trust. We have man holding a heart and angel of strength. There is a concerned loved one that has been looking for information. And I do feel like this is somebody who could be potentially the I figured this out, or I know what really happened. Or this person has information that's important in terms of adding context to whatever evidence or details may have been recently discovered. All right, let's get a few from, this is the Potero. What else do we have? The world is all that we see or seem, but a dream within a dream. There's someone who went to great lengths to make sure that the conclusion they wanted people to draw was what happened. So I guess what I'm saying is we have somebody that messed with details. We have somebody that messed with evidence. Another high priestess. Let my heart be still a moment and this mystery explore. I'm very focused on the crow. I think there's somebody who didn't expect there to be witnesses. Remember, there were crows in the background of the Five of Swords. There's someone who can connect the dots. For some of you, it's like, oh, this person was on the phone in the background and that wasn't known, or, you know, found a little note, reviewed the information we had. But this Queen of Candles, this Queen of Wands energy, this is what I was picking up with that thinking woman, blossoming abundance. I want to be clear that this does not have to be a woman, but this is somebody who had that like very creative and bold energy that a Queen of Wands would embody. Okay, or sorry. Oh, lady dear, hast thou no fear? Why, and what art thou dreaming here? Sure thou art come o'er far off seas, a wonder to these garden trees. So I think we had somebody who was traveling, somebody who attracted a lot of attention, bold or fearless. At least that was the way people perceived them. Let's see. This is the Ghost Tarot. Hey, Laura. How are you doing? It is, isn't it? Hello, Bitchy Tata. What's going on? All right, what else do we have? Ten of Wands. I do feel like there was some stalking energy or somebody that was following this Queen of Wands. Six of Wands in the reverse. The Chariot in the reverse. There was something to mess with the investigation. So the Chariot can represent law enforcement. This is either someone withholding or hiding evidence. So the investigation was hampered in that way, or possibly even bribing someone. But the investigation to find what happened was hampered. There was something that made it basically impossible for whoever was doing that to come to the conclusion they should. Nine of Cups and the Hanged Man. The Devil. I think this is about somebody who was rejected or somebody who was arguing with the Queen of Wands individual. And one of these individuals had gotten obsessed with the other. So especially if this is like an extramarital affair, somebody getting obsessed with the other one caused a lot of potential drama for this person. But I feel like there's an overreaction here, obviously. What else? Six of Cups in the reverse. Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Ace of Swords in the reverse. I don't know that I want to say that. I think we have somebody who has paid someone or paid people to make sure that the truth never came out regarding what happened to this Queen of Wands, or that this Queen of Wands was never associated with or tied to the person who actually probably got violent with this person. And there could have been evidence of their affair. Eight of Swords. Four of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah. I think we've got a reopening of the case, or maybe even taking another look at the Queen of Wands with a different individual doing an autopsy. There's something here about expanded information, realizing that somebody else was there, or that two people were involved. This was not just like whatever the assumption is in terms of how this happened is way off, because there's multiple pieces of evidence that went missing or were discarded. All right, this is the situations deck. What else do we have? Racing, running, avoiding, negotiator, bargaining, begging, retaliation, punish, payback, revenge. Honestly, this kind of looks to me like we might have had somebody saying, if you don't do what I want, then I'm going to tell you tell people what you've been doing. So retaliation is the reason that this crime happened. We have Divine Masculine. I feel like it's in the reverse for a reason. This is an unhealed energy. Bounty hunter, chaser, hot pursuit, and focused. Eyes for you, fascinated and watching. Someone was obsessed. It could have been the Queen of Wands. It could have been whoever they were dealing with. But someone's obsessive energy escalated this situation rapidly. Drama Queen. So let's see. This is the Golden Lenormand. What is happening with this information? I suppose I'd like to see the Tower. 24, the Hearts. The Coffin, number 8. And the Stars, number 16. We have a very loving energy involved in the situation that really wants the truth and wants to do right by the memory of the person who's passed. Again, my condolences. But there's also something here about a dream. Somebody's having dreams about this person. It's validating or calling attention to some piece of evidence that could help. Maybe even providing like location detail. So that's another reason we had the High Priestess come out, because that can be a reference to obviously like secrets, right? But I think this is talking about someone realizing things at night in their dreams and maybe remembering those dreams in the middle of the day. But this is, I think, part of why this information finally comes out. Hello, Tina. How are you doing? I know, isn't it crazy, Laura? Ace of Cups, Emperor in the reverse, Devil in the reverse, and the Three of Cups. Yeah, I don't want people to know what I've been up to. I don't want this secret to get out, so I will do what I have to do. Five of Wands and the Three of Swords in the reverse. So what's especially interesting to me about this Three of Swords in the reverse is this is a reference to the Telltale Heart, this card. The Telltale Heart is somebody, well, let's just kind of paraphrase it, right? Somebody who is overly confident that they've been able to get away with something, right? A murder. And I feel like we have the Three of Swords in the reverse because somebody didn't think they were going to get caught because it had been so long, but there is another round of investigation coming their way that's making them, I think, quite nervous that they have not been able to get away with whatever they did. The World in the reverse. It's not over. So if they thought things were going to be just fine or they'd gotten away with it, they're wrong. Justice in the reverse. King of Swords. Four of Swords in the reverse. I know somebody wasn't alone, or I know somebody did something. I know somebody was involved. This King of Swords is the investigator or the person who tells the truth. So yeah, I think this is a cold case that's going to get reopened, or maybe even a situation where they didn't think it was a cold case and now it is a cold case because it wasn't just an accident. And I do feel that there's more than one piece of information. It's not just like this whole thing rides on one detail. There's they start to look because of one thing and then they find like 5 other things. But it's because somebody was paid off to keep the evidence hidden or to destroy it even. So yeah, I'm going to root for justice in that one. All right. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. And thank you to my members. And have a great rest of your day. I'll see you on the next reading. Toodles.